Hello indie game fans, last video to clear up all the new releases and updates for the year, with some hidden gems and value-packed content patches for games in early access. Being the end of the year, I went back to count, and this is, surprisingly, my 299th video of the year, and at an average of 10 titles covered per video, this means that I've shouted out at least 3,000 titles this year, which I'm pretty happy about, while I certainly hope that I have helped some indie developers along the way. Let's begin with Void Heart, a pixel art roguelite platformer that looks pretty good, somehow deciding to release last Sunday, which was Boxing Day, which is not a smart idea at all. I do like this subgenre of games, where it does look to have a little bit of both Re-Vita and Scourgebringer in this, but does have a rather generic story of a military man on a mission to destroy killer robots. It does look pretty interesting, but may serve as a cautionary tale for December releases, but if you do like the look of this, do give it a go, where it is in early access, and hopefully the developer can get some momentum going. A title from November that I thought would have sold much better is Demon Turf, a 3D platformer that is pretty good, where most interestingly, this developer decided to release the Level Creator update, which allows players to build their own levels. This is a very interesting trend that I am observing, following the success of Mario Maker, where even games like Blue Fire are doing exactly this with the Void Maker free release, where cynically, the developers are trying to use their players to prolong the life of their game, but more levels for everyone is a good thing, but something to keep an eye on. A very interesting, if disturbing colony sim like Oxygen Not Included is Hell Architect from August this year, where you command a bunch of sinners to do your bidding as you gather resources and expand your base. It did however get mixed reviews at release, when the developer just released an update titled Hell 2.0, revamping quite a number of systems and adding new features, so if you bounced off this the first time around, perhaps go back to check it out. Like Bambalon covered in the previous video in this series, Toad on Fire is a simple looking pixel art action title that does look pretty fun, where you play as a toad with a flamethrower, having to use it to fend off an invading army of frogs. It does remind me of classic old school titles like God of Thunder, which I absolutely adore, only it is a lot more action-packed. There are 20 plus levels with power-ups that you can purchase, so it's not the most feature-packed entry, but it looks like a fun little title worth a play. A game that keeps on giving is Mail Mole, a 3D platformer where you play as a postman with the unique mechanic of being able to burrow and travel underground, releasing the holiday-appropriate free DLC The Lost Presents, following up from the Halloween-themed Mystery Mansion update, which was free as well, making this value for money. One of the best modern point-and-click adventure game series is the Darkside Detective, where its sequel, A Fumble in the Dark, released in April this year, releasing the first of 3 free cases titled Ghosts of Christmas Past, again showing how developers add value to their game. One of the best roguelite strategy auto-battlers right now is Despot's game, and this is even while it is still in early access, but just in time for the holidays, the developer released the Christmas Brawl update. This adds a whole new minigame with the Christmas Brawl mode where you need to stack 10 wins in a run, where every 3 rooms you encounter the army of another player, so it's interesting to see how they used semi-multiplayer elements in this, with the usual lots of new content in mutations and balancing changes. Let's kick off the top 3 with a very interesting pick in the 1.0 release of Rogue Fable 3, a traditional turn-based roguelike, which appears to be pretty well made and is well received. Interestingly, you can find a version of this online in places like Armor Games, where apparently that serves as a demo to this Steam version, where they spent the last 2 years or so in early access, adding more content and refining the game to where it is today. As is a genre trope, you are searching for the Goblet of Yendor in the Dungeon of Dread, with 10 character classes, 8 playable races, and a whole bunch of content that will make roguelike fans happy, so if you count yourself among one of those, do pick this up. An impressive open-world top-down shooter is Black Skylands, which released in July this year, but the developers just released their first major update titled Ice Kraken. This adds new random events while you fly around in your airship, including a heavily armed ship that you can attempt to board and loot, a volcanic island in the sky with a treasure of its own, and of course, an encounter with the monstrous Ice Kraken, in addition to a couple more, with new skills, quest lines, and puzzles, with this game shaping up to be very good indeed.
Temtem Tamers. Every challenge you have faced has led to this moment, where the final battle comes to an epic conclusion. This is Arbory Island.
As a fan of monster taming games, of course I have to mention Temtem Arbory Island, the latest update to the Pokemon-like MMO, with new Tems to discover, a whole new island to explore, new dojos to battle in, and more. Since the early access release in January 2020, this game has consistently been a highlight, impressing with the content patches, its ability to sustain a player population, and how it was giving the gaming community what they wanted, with this patch marking the end of the main storyline.
As you make progress in your adventure, your achievements will...
While it is the 6th and last island to be added, this is not the end of early access development, since the developers are working on additional features like mounts, a trading house, and something called Dojo Wars, as well as plans to continue supporting the game after the 1.0 release. Xbox and Switch ports are also being worked on, but I'm just happy to see the success that this game has had, taking the #1 spot. For more monster taming games, watch these videos and I will see you after the jump.
Temtem Arbory Island, out now.